Oh, no, 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 no. The show has not moved. We weren't, we didn't change the time on you or anything like that, Tom. It was just, we were talking and having a good time in the green room before this thing got started. So that's all. But welcome back to the show. We had a fun time last night talking to Hakes, and tonight we'll be talking with Greg Tigges, who many of you have seen in the chat before. Maybe talked with him there. Maybe emailed with him a few times here or there over the years. But his gallery link is in the show description, so you can click on that and check out Greg's CAF Gallery while we're looking at artwork and talking about how he got into this fine hobby of ours. So without further ado, let me bring Greg into this thing and get it started. Hey, Greg.
Hi, all.
Hey, well,
Thank
like
you.
you said,
Happy
yeah, no,
Veterans Day
it's
to everybody. Hey.
happy Veterans Day, Greg. Yeah, it's definitely. Oh, there you go. See, we've got Diane is saying hi to you as well. So you said you might have
Yeah,
some family members checking in on you to make sure you don't step out of line or blemish the family reputation on YouTube.
true. Diane is my wife. So, yes, everybody could say hi to her too. Hi, Diane.
Nice to meet you, Diane. Uh, so yeah, Greg, you've been a member of the site for quite some time, and you've got well, I mean, I'm double checking. Yeah, you joined in December of 2010, so you're almost at your 15th year anniversary on Comic
Mhm.
Art Fan. Pretty
And
incredible.
I think I posted my first piece in 2013. So I had a couple years to actually get some pieces stockpiled and made a big push in 2013 and get them all posted. I still got a whole bunch I have to post yet too, actually. So
Did you create your CAF account like early in the hobby, but or you're earlier in your time in the hobby, but you didn't want to share anything until you had enough good pieces, or what was your thinking there?
It was just a case of either just getting them all together, and I would be on the site on CAF every once in a while. I'm looking more looking at other galleries than
Hmm.
being more concerned with my own, just to see what everyone else had. That was at a time when I pretty much I was kind of just starting collecting. And I wanted to see what everyone else was getting, and I was marveling at everyone else, and I still marvel and want to marvel more at getting more pieces, because I still have grails I still need to get, whether it's a Kirby or a Ditko or something like that. So I love seeing those, actually in other galleries, because that just kind of inspires me to, hey, keep going, man. You'll find one. You'll find one.
Exactly. Yeah, they're getting a little more pricey these days. So when you say a Grail and a Kirby, do you have a particular character and title that you're looking for, or are you just looking for the right Kirby, whatever that right Kirby is for you?
Um, I love Jack's all that Fantastic Four stuff he did. More
Mhm.
on the Marvel side. I think you're a Marvel guy, right? Were you a
Oh, I
Marvel
am.
guy? Right. Okay. I love the Fantastic Four. His early Silver Age Marvel stuff. The stuff that's just so expensive now you can't even find anymore. But I
Mhm.
still look at all the other pieces. Like I've seen things on the auctions, which are just kind of pieces, people pieces, not necessarily Fantastic Four, but just kind of people pieces. And I still admire those, on the Kirby perspective of it all. But I really would love to see a Fantastic Four page come up my way at the right price. I think that would be fantastic.
I mean, do you ever like requirements for stuff like that? Do you feel like the characters have to be in costume, or they have to be fighting, or does it
Not
matter when it's
necessarily. It's got to have that visual appeal. That's the thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
and that probably means exactly what you said. I'd like to see him in costume, see him in action. If I could get something with the Kirby Fantastic Four in their flying bathtub or something like that, like the way Fantastic Four 3, I think the cover of Fantastic Four 3, where they
Mhm.
their costumes. That's where they introduced their costumes too. Actually, it was Fantastic Four 3, and the cover has the big flying bathtub on the outside on the cover. I'm just like, yeah, that's cool.
Well, that would be a grail for a lot of people then. So it's not
I right?
you're not looking for the average Kirby FF. Do you ever go in and say, this is going to be my starter Kirby FF, and you get something,
Oh yeah,
later in
yeah.
his
I think I
run?
like Commandy or something like that. Or
Well, sure. I mean, Commandy's some pretty some good stuff there. I mean,
there is
the
actually.
artwork's great. I mean, Black Panther, Captain America. I mean, when I think of Kirby, I think of a lot of. I mean, first I think of Marvel stuff first, but certainly there's some DC out there that New Gods you could probably you get some things that are a little bit more affordable versus going after the big stuff. I mean, I only own one Jack Kirby, and it's a very average Thor page at the end of the day. You know, he's in costume, but he's never facing you in any one of the panels, and he's getting his butt beat. But it was my starter Kirby. I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I see in the chat too. An X-Men Kirby is something I would love to do too, or I'd love to have too. You know, a page from an X-Men with Kirby on it. I mean,
Yeah.
I started before my comic art collecting. Probably like a lot of other people, you start buying comic books first and start reading your comics and that kind of thing. And I've kind of gotten back into that right now too. So I'm buying like some mid-grade Silver Age books like X-Men 1, you know, with that Kirby cover and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm still looking for pages from him too. So
I see #1 Marvel fan Tom said Machine Man Kirby is what he'd
oh,
really
that's
like
a
to
good
get.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, most Kirby's pretty good. At the end of the day, you can't go wrong with Jack, no matter who, even whoever inked him, it's still gonna be Jack Kirby. You're gonna be happy. Maybe you don't get the Kirby crackle, that you were hoping for, or Ben Grimm throwing Doc Doom through a window or something. But it's still gonna be a Jack Kirby piece. So there's nothing wrong there.
Well, you brought up a good point with the inking too. That's something that I would
Mhm.
probably look for too, because I've heard some stories about, some of the Vince Coletta's.
Galetta.
Some of his inking is, he's fast and gets things done on deadlines and stuff like that. Looks a little different on Kirby than like, Joe Senator or something like that on there.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, that is important. I have Coletta inks on my Thor page, and it's actually okay. But yeah, and most people actually say his inking on Thor was better than his inking on most everything else. So for whatever reason, Coletta might have enjoyed working on that book a little bit more. But hey, when you get paid by the page, you gotta, some of those guys decided to cut corners, erase backgrounds, not fill in all the blacks, or just fill in the background with all black. Any way to get their do 2 books a month rather than just one.
right. They got to meet their deadlines too, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I can get where they're coming from on that stuff. But so Kirby, then what else are you seeking that you don't have in your collection right now?
Oh, the Kirby's, Ditko's, the classics, maybe. Maybe that's maybe a good way I could put it. I've been getting some nice current, I guess that they would be modern artist ones now. I mean, I love George Perez, of course,
Oh, of course, yeah.
and I'm always looking for things with his. God rest his soul. Burn is always in there too, of course. I got some Burn pieces in my gallery. Got some Perez pieces in my gallery. I liked your little intro with the Shazam flying across. That Shazam was a George Perez commission.
Thank
Matter
you.
of fact, that was like one of the first commissions I think I ever got was from George Perez, and I got that. I think it was at Elmo City Comic Con where I got to meet the man, and that's one of my favorites actually, right there. So George Perez, John Burns, that's when I got really into the comic book collecting and reading phase. Was the late '70s and '80s.
Hmm.
So when Byrne and Perez were in Marvel, and then they went over to DC, and at that time I thought that's when I became a DC fan. So it was when those guys went over. So I'm
No,
always seeking them too.
sure. No, I get it with Byrne and Perez. I mean, when I started reading comics, I wanted to be able to draw like both of those guys, right? I mean, that was they were my favorite creators beginning in the, when I started reading heavily in the late '70s, early '80s. Um, they were the best. And so even to this day, I mean, I've well, I've got some pieces by both of them, but you can always use more, because that's just
I
what
know what you
I love.
mean. I see in the chat it was like #1 Marvel fan says Greg needs a nice Marvel burn piece. I'm looking at a Marvel burn piece from Hidden Years right now. It's right behind my my desktop here. And again, one of maybe my third or fourth commission that I got from John Byrne when he was doing commissions, I got through Jim Morton. One of my favorite pieces of the Hulk, just obliterating Superman. Just
Superman, right?
punch break.
Hey,
I think
Marvel always
I
gets the best of DC, even in the crossovers, even in commissions.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, yeah, I'm looking I'm in your CAF gallery right now too, so I see the hidden years page, and of course the commission, and then some Wonder Woman pages, and they're all great. And at the end of the day, if that's you got to have starter pages no matter what, and all yours look great. So uh Tom's a big 70s Marvel fan himself. He's a big ROM fan. He's got a few ROM pages. He's a
Oh,
Sal
Rom.
Buscema fan.
Hmm?
Yeah. But I was trying to
Yeah.
see here what you had with Perez. Why is here? Okay. No, you get
And
good
a
stuff
couple of
in here.
Yeah, Avengers pages. I had a couple Prime pages when he was wherever Prime. I can't. Who published Prime? You remember that?
Prime. Acclaim? Or am I'm probably wrong with that. One of the professors in the chat will tell us.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm wondering. Actually, starter pages. Put Elitist on. We'll put Elitist on there.
That is not me, by the way. That is Jason D'Ambrosio, who is playing around with naming his whatever his handle on YouTube, because YouTube is forcing everybody to use these weird handles nowadays. So he decided he would. Oh, it's Malibu. Malibu. That's right.
Malibu is correct. Yes. Very
Thank
good.
you, Jason. See, he was reading those back in the day. So well, so we've diverted a little bit from our usual, give us a scoop on how you got started with collecting original art. So you've already given us a bit, right? You started with comics, but
Hmm.
were you always a comics fan? I mean, did you learn how to read by reading comics, or was it something you picked up later in life?
I learned more about reading. When you mentioned learning reading in comics, yeah, it was kind of some of the Roy Thomas stuff. When I was reading Fantastic Four and about science and black holes and all this other stuff. I was like, oh, that's really interesting stuff. I felt I really learned that thing or those kind of concepts from comic books
Hmm.
myself. I bought my first comic book, and I'll tell you this, in 1975, and it was Fantastic Four 159, I believe. It had a Rich Buckler cover on it, with the thing. He was like this, he got the fist out front with the Inhumans on the, back behind him. And that was after my mom kicked us out and during summer break, and I took my skateboard down to the drugstore, going on the spinner rack and found my
Hmm.
first comic book, and I was like, yeah, I got hooked after that. And that was in 75, and then I started collecting in 70, through 79 and through the 80s. Got started big into the image stuff when all the image guys went and moved over. And actually, I could tell you this story because I actually got this backer board here. I want to show you. And this is actually my first piece of collection art that I've had. Okay. Actually, it's on this
Is,
side.
is it
It's
dated 93? Is that what I'm seeing? Or
93. Yeah. Okay.
all
It's two
right.
sides. I was in the military for 23 years, and we were based in Hawaii. And the image guys, okay, 93, the image guys were pretty big around then. They started coming out, and they had a small con just for them.
I've
And
seen articles about that trip to Hawaii.
yeah,
That's
oh,
So you
yeah,
were there?
yeah, I was there. Yeah, I had my son with me, who was 5, 6 years old, I believe, Ben. And it's always good to have kids with you because you get more stuff, I think. The artist will give little doodles and stuff like that to you. But as I'm waiting in line, and there's Jim Lee. I don't think Todd McFarlane was there. Jim Valentino was there. He was walking around barefoot, everywhere. And then Brett Booth was there, I think, Sal Regula. And I'm getting a couple things signed. And as we're waiting in line, the artists that were waiting to sign, they would doodle on these comic book backing boards, and they were doodling in the gold pen ink, that kind of thing. And I'm coming up, and I pass with my little X-Men books, and Wildcats and that kind of thing, and they're signing them. Brett Booth's coming in there, and Jim Lee actually looked at my son and grabbed this comic board that has, let's see, this one has Brett Booth signature on it, Sal Regula. I think it was one of them. And there's another signature here I really can't recognize. I'm not sure if anybody can see this. This one right here, it's probably backwards on there. I don't know who that is, honestly. But that's Brett Booth there and Sal Regula there. And Brett Booth drew this cable on the front. And on the back, he doodled an old beast kind of looks like he may be giving the middle finger, possibly.
Yeah, and
But
that's either
anyway, he handed
Band-Aid on
it
his
to,
finger
yeah,
or he's
yeah,
oh
he
no.
hands this to Jim Lee. Jim Lee kind of just puts it on the table and slides it to my 6-year-old son Benjamin, right? And I was like, "Oh, take that, take it." So it was like one of the things. He was like, "Very, thank you very much." We thank him for his work and that kind of thing. But that was basically my very first
Piece
piece
of
of
original art.
collection art.
And you can thank your son for that one. But Dave Kopecki says that was Ben Fernandez, who was a colorist at Wildstorm back then.
Ben Hernandez. Thank you, Dave. I'm going to have to
So there
remember.
you
I'm
have
going
it.
to
Thank you.
be writing that down because I do log in all my collection art somewhere.
Well, now you can post it on CAF because you know who the artist was on it, or one of the
Oh
signers.
yeah, man. Oh yeah, I'll post it on CAF. Yeah, I never posted that thing on CAF.
You can
That's
say the first piece of art picked up. Now, if you only had a photograph of them sliding it across the table to your son, that would
oh
have been
yeah, just to
awesome.
confirm everything. I'm not sure if my brother or if my son is maybe in this chat. He could confirm that too, by the way. So.
There you go. Lee agrees. A nice first start story. Yeah, I can't say that anyone else has had a story similar to that. Um, but that's
Yeah.
cool though.
By that time, I was in the military. I was in the military, so we moved around everywhere, and I started getting big into the image comics. I started drawing in high school, my version of the little comic characters and that kind of thing, which kind of thing maybe helped me move along to really appreciate some of these collected art pieces I got.
Mhm.
And I'm actually showing one that I did. This is my homage to Kevin McGuire. Basically, I did this back in late 80s or something like that. Just pencil and paper, just freehanded stuff just to see what I could do.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, it was always fun. This is my old little sketch, my old sketchbook
Larson would
with
be
a
proud.
dragon in there too, along with a bunch of multiple other ones in there. I just wanted to kind of show those off to you because I was just doing
Well,
those freehand, but I was just taking them from the covers basically.
did you take a lot of art classes growing up? Did you want to be an illustrator? I mean, you're in the military,
At
so
first, right? And
nice.
even I got another story for you. This is when I was young, living at home with mom and dad, 14, 15-year-old teenager too, getting into comic books. And Star Wars came out in 77, right? The comic book,
Mhm.
comic book too. And I got so big into the Star Wars art that I started drawing on the headboards and the footboards of my bed, right? They were painted them white, and I started drawing all the pencil, panels, that's the panels from the comic book. I was drawing those on the footboard and headboard, and they actually came out pretty good. But after a while, they got all smeared, and I think my mom and dad painted over it. I don't think they were too upset with me at the time, but that's when I was very young.
They
Very,
didn't stop you.
they didn't. They didn't honestly.
They didn't want to stifle your creativity. So we're getting a lot of questions. What branch of the military were you in?
Oh, I was in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force for 23 years. I was in the
Yep.
intel field, which is pretty boring. So. Oh, and I see. It looks like my brother is in there too. That's my brother, Kevin Tigges. You may see that. Says, "Do you have the Wolverine drawings still?" I do have a Wolverine. I got plenty of Wolverine drawings. I got a nice Herb Trimpe Wolverine that I got commissioned from Herb Trimpe before he passed, and that was really neat too because I was able to actually talk with him directly, back and forth on what he wanted, what I wanted, and he kind of did like a homage to a John Byrne kind of layout, which came out great. And I think actually we're going to see that one probably tonight too.
Very good. Now I have to correct myself. So it's Tigges is how
Oh
you pronounce
yes,
it.
yeah, Tigges, yes.
I did
I'm sorry.
not
Yeah, I've heard you say Tiggs.
say
Yeah,
Teagues. Well, I don't know.
I was going to
What
correct
do
you.
I know? I'm from Ohio, so Tigges. All right.
Oh,
So
that's
that
right.
that's
You're in Florida now, right? You're Ohio,
I yes
Florida.
yes I am.
I
It's
did meet
cold.
you.
It's
I
cold
did meet
here.
you once though. Do you remember?
I don't. Where was
Baltimore
that?
Comic Con.
Which one?
Baltimore Comic Con.
Oh.
It was a few years ago. I think it was pre-COVID.
Or
And
I think it might have been. Well, when did I go to that? No, that would have been like the first year after COVID. So like 2022, maybe was their first one.
because I was going to the auction where I know Walt Simmons. I just remember Walt Simmons walking up and down the aisle.
Yeah.
I think.
So you were there. When you saw
Yeah.
I get to sit
Well,
up there
you
with
were waiting
this Dune
outside.
beer, and I didn't get to say a word. He did the whole thing.
Oh yeah, he did, right? Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
You
he
were
did. He
like
was
in the
like, "I
background
want
the
you to
whole
sit up there
time.
with me, Bill. You can do this with me." And then I get up there, and he didn't give me.
You were sitting in the
I didn't
back.
need the mic in front of me, but it was all right.
Oh, your presence was known there. We saw you,
That was
and
a
I
good
saw you.
time.
I
Yeah,
saw you
that's the
outside
one
the
and only time I
fort.
went to Baltimore too. But it's a nice show, definitely. Really well run.
Yeah,
So yeah, I did like that.
I
Um,
introduced myself. Actually, I should have sent you a pic. I did get a picture of both of us together too. Actually,
oh, see now that
I saw you sitting on the side, and I introduced myself, and you stood up, and I was like, "Man, you're kind of tall."
I get that every time I meet somebody for the first time, and they're because I'm sitting down all the time. Everybody thinks I'm maybe 5'6" or something like that, and then but whatever, 6 foot. So here, no, Tom did have a question for you. So he wants to know what that Spock piece is behind you.
Oh, that Spock piece, one of my favorites, done by a gentleman artist named J.K. Woodward.
Oh yeah, love JK stuff.
Yeah, and
But that's not in our set to talk about tonight, is it?
I don't think so. But I'll bring it over. That's a published piece. I think it's Star Trek. I can't remember what issue, but I think I'd have it in my CAF what issue. It's the cover to it by J.K. Woodward. If you've ever read or seen that episode of Star Trek, The City on the Edge of Forever,
Hmm.
and I think that was done by, I can't remember what the well-known person who wrote it. Harlan Ellison. Harlan Ellison wrote it, the screenplay, but they only took part of it in the Star Trek show. But J.K. Woodward got together with Harlan Ellison and actually did the real screenplay that Harlan Ellison wrote and did it into a basically, I think it was a 6 issue little mini series, or maybe it was a graphic novel. I can't recall. But J.K. Woodward, yeah, I really like a lot of his stuff. Real nice guy.
I'll put the link to the piece in the chat. It was actually highlighted on CAF during the pandemic in March of 2021 as a
Really?
featured piece by us. So yeah, there you go. Well, everybody seems to like JK stuff. Derek and Lee. Oh,
Yeah, I
awesome.
usually try and get something from him every time. I do got a page of his from that Star Trek, The City on the Edge of Forever
Mhm.
art. That's actually up on my wall over here on the right. So
Well, it
yeah.
doesn't look like you have a lot of room in the office for more art, though, right? Or I'm assuming this is an office, or
Oh yeah, yeah. This is my office probably for another 3 days because I'm actually retiring, dude. So hey.
wow, man, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And like I said, you could admire my nice gray white hairs and all. But yeah, I'm retiring in a couple days, and I'm
How's that
actually.
going to affect your art collecting? I mean, do you have like a war chest set aside so you can keep collecting art in your glory days here?
Um, I'll still be collecting, but I think it's going to be more of okay. I'm going to sell some stuff on Comic Art Live this weekend, and that's going to fund my next purchase. You know
There
that,
you go.
and I'm set up for that too, and I hope everyone else is set up for that because I love that since you started that. It's every 6 months, right? The
That
Comic
is
Book.
right. Yeah, I saw. The some of the gentlemen in the chat were mad that we weren't talking about Comic Art Live this weekend. So now we got the obligatory plug for the show. We've been talking about Comic Art Live for the last 6 weeks, but they want more. They want more, 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 more. So
Best
here we are.
place to sell right here on Comic Art Live, man. It really is. It is the
There you
best
go.
place to sell. It's you got the niche, you got the people, you got the market, and I love actually selling to guys on CAF. Whether they're premium members or just regular members or stuff. I feel like I have a certain more trust with those members. That kind of thing.
Right, exactly. I mean, this is, it was born out of the need to, give us all something to do that we couldn't get out the shows. And I really think it helped, bring us all together in ways that we could never have thought. I mean, we wouldn't have started live streams if it wasn't for the first Comic Car Live, right? I mean, I wouldn't be here today. You wouldn't have known to take a picture with me at Baltimore because
I
you would
know, right?
know who the hell I was at a show. Uh, but
I like
yeah,
uh,
no.
I like Marcus' comment there saying Bill can recommend a hair dye because we were just talking about it, right?
That was what we were talking about in the green room before we got started, everybody. I told you it was a good conversation. Uh, yeah, but But that's again, that's awesome though. You're right at the doorstep of retirement, and you still are thinking about your strategy for being able to keep buying artwork and still staying connected to CAF and the community. And Cal is a big, Comic Art Live is a very, important part of all of that. And I'm
Yeah.
totally with you on that. And it's and clearly, for as much as I talk about it, the people in the chat don't feel we talk enough about it. But that's all
Well,
right.
my wife is still going to be working, so hey, that's another income flow there
Oh,
too.
well, there you go. She has no plans to retire.
No, not yet. She's got another 3 years left, and she
All
knows that.
right. Well, then that's good. Then your art collecting shouldn't suffer at all. Although, like you said, trading up or, selling a few pieces is never a bad thing.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's they come at all times of the year, not the comic art live stuff, because just recently, like 2 weeks ago, and I think it's going to be something that's going to be I'm showcasing tonight too. A Delato Hulk. Some guy just came up out of the blue saying, "Hey, I wasn't selling it or anything," and he was like, "If you're ever thinking about selling it, and I was like, "Well, I'm not selling it, but I'll take off. I'll take offers. I'll see what just to see what's out there. I'll take an offer."
Sure.
And he kind of lowballed it, and I was like, "No, I think I need maybe about another 1,200 more, or something like this." And there was like a day or two of silence, and he comes back and he was like, "Okay." I was like, "Oh," and this was a piece I never thought I would even think about selling, honestly. And you'll see why
Right.
when you see it. Yeah,
So you don't mind getting inquiries. I mean, some people prefer
not at
not
all.
to get those, but I get them on some pieces, some more than others, and I don't mind it. I feel like if I'm ever going to sell the piece, I can always go back and see who emailed me, about it, and I've got 5 or 6 people who I can make offers to.
I did buy a piece from you too, by the way. It was a Brian Hitch piece. I think you have a lot of Brian Hitch, right?
Yeah, Brian, he had a lot of his art here in the States, with a rep that he wasn't working with anymore, and so he asked if we would, if CAF would help sell his stuff because shipping from the UK is pretty expensive. So probably have like 600 or 700 pieces by Brian in my office. I bought a Husky, a tool cabinet, one of those really long ones. It's like 6 foot by almost 3 foot deep. It's like all flat files. So
Yeah,
I have all of his art in that, and yeah, we slowly release stuff, and he's mailing me a bunch of stuff for Comic Art Live right now. And
yeah. Get a
what
nice.
what what piece did you get from him?
It was a nice splash, Captain America. I think it was a Captain America Reborn splash.
Hmm,
But
those are nice.
I mean, you could probably see it in the calf if I posted it or not. I'm not sure if it's in there.
Well, I remember there was Palmer inks on the Cap Reborn, and all that
I
stuff
think
was
so.
great.
Yeah, I see. Jason says you're the rep for Hitch. Is that true?
They like to use that word with me. Rep. Oh, you got that splash. That was a really good one. I'll throw that in the chat too, just so everybody can see. Yeah. No, we don't consider ourselves reps. I'm more of a facilitator. I'm never going to represent. I mean, Brian does whatever he wants. He sells his own art on the side. He does whatever he wants to do. I've always liked his art, and I like handling. I like looking at artwork, right? So I get to look at all this artwork that I
Oh,
don't
right.
own, and
How about
uh,
calf right there?
I
See,
think I think I think they're just jealous. So they like to call me a rep, but I don't think I would ever look at CAF as being a rep. We facilitate sales. Come on, we've been facilitating sales for 23 years for people. Um, this is just one of those opportunities where we get to handle the art before we move it along.
mm-hmm. And as you can see, I'm looking in the chat now, and I see some things from my wife and my daughter. My daughter says best collector ever. Yeah, right. I'm the only collector she knows. My
And I
wife said,
said I said Palmer. It was Geis, by the way, not yeah.
"Oh,
I
Butch."
had that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Butch Geis inks on the Cap Reborn. Sorry, everybody.
gotcha.
I guess I don't know my hitch art after all. But I can tell you after Geist passed, I was looking through the Cap Reborn artwork that was still here, and I found one I really like. I can't afford it yet, but it's just a nice page. I mean, at the end of the day, with so many of the creators that we love, passing since COVID started, or even before then, but so many recently. It's like every time somebody passes, it's like, man. I got to get something from them because like, or represented by them because I don't have, well, I do have one other piece by Butch Geist that he penciled and inked, but, but yeah, the last few years have kind of sucked as a
Yeah.
collector in that way, right? I mean, we all get old. Some of us get to retire like you, but yeah. Uh, there you go.
So
Marcus
you're
says,
still
I
working?
say,
Are you still working a full-time job other than the website?
no, no, I don't do, for the longest time I did, I own a miniature golf course. Prior to that, I own my own internet
Oh,
consult.
okay. I heard
I
the
was,
reference.
we had our own internet consulting company. That's how we had the ability to build CAF because we had our own servers hosted and that sort of thing. But I sold the golf course 4 years ago, and yeah, but really, CAF, was my full time job probably for the last 12 years, even when I
Like
worked at the
you've
golf course.
expanded it immensely. 'Cause don't you have like a board of people
We
now?
do, yeah. Well, we have it. I have a CEO and Kazra Gambari. I brought on him to kind of be the leader of what we've got here, and it's worked out fantastic. We've got a whole team around us now because I mean we have so many projects with OAX and IC3.
No,
Um,
right?
you know, the app is out there now, and I'm kind of in charge of running, managing like some of the projects, as it relates to the app and some of the other uh, content related things that are out there. But it's fun. I mean, it's exactly really what I hoped for when I decided to make the move. I was almost going to be a right before the pandemic started. I was interviewing at a Western wear outlet store to manage their e-commerce. I was all set to coast with CAF. I was like,
Oh
there's
wow.
CAF's not, CAF is fun. I'm doing all right, but I have no 401k. I'm paying my own health insurance, and it's
Yeah, need those
2019.
benefits, man. Yeah.
Right. It's 2019. I'm still in my early 50s, and I thought, I should probably just go get a regular job and just, do CAF on the side. And then the pandemic hit, and they basically said, "Oh, we're not interviewing anybody anymore." So that didn't happen, and the rest is history, right? So, hey,
Yeah.
never know.
Awesome. Well, that's good. I think you're doing great in CAF. So
Thank you. But back to you. So you had this experience in Hawaii, and this is '93, basically your first piece of art. So what's the second piece of art then that comes into your
oh
possession?
no, man.
You don't remember that?
I'm thinking, I mean, it has to be pretty close to that George Perez Shazam piece because I was really, really big into Perez. And I think we were living in Texas at the time. Military brought me to San Antonio, and he was going to be at Comic Palooza. I think is the one in Houston, I think, or something.
Mhm.
He was going to be there, so actually I was able to. And one of the nice things about this too, at least back then, we were able to email and actually talk with the artist. Like I was able to do that with like Herb Trimpe too at the same time, and
Sure.
I could do
Great
that with
guy.
J.K. Woodward now too. And sometimes even with Byrne, even though Jim Moore was the guy I always talked to for Byrne, but every once in a while Byrne would come in and say, "Hey, do you want this in here on this commission?" Because he took everything into account on what you wanted in a commission. John Byrne did, and he wants the details. He wanted the details, and I was like, "Okay, I'll give you the details. I want to punch in Superman. If you could break the borders, and again, we'll see that one in a little bit too, I think." But yeah, Comic Palooza got a hold of George Perez, I guess, and we talked about, oh, okay, I want a Shazam, but can you do it like in the landscape, and do it in the pencil tones, that he was doing at the time. He was pretty big at the
Hmm.
time, and he was like, yeah, great, great. And then a couple days later, I emailed him again. I was like, hey, can you kind of do it like in this layout and format? And this was just a couple days later, right? And he comes back and he says, "Oh, I'm already done with it already. You can pick it up. You're gonna pick it up at Comic Palooza." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He didn't send me
George
any.
was quick.
Yeah,
At
he
the
did.
end of the day, yeah, with him packing all of that detail in there, he had to be, or there'd be no way he could draw like that.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
Diana's asking you, do you remember about the original doodle you got from a famous artist?
an
Do you know what
original
famous artist
doodle from a famous artist.
that's what she's saying.
Well, oh, I'm not sure if she was here, but I'm not sure if you're talking about this or not, Diane, but that was the original doodle.
That was the
I
first
guess you
one.
could say that was definitely a doodle. But I
Well,
yeah, I still get the
Perez
doodle.
is in a bad place to be with your second or third piece of art. At the end, he's such a nice guy and very prolific. I got a lot of convention sketches and commissions from him over the years. Sometimes those fast ones he would do, as donations for the Hero Initiative or whatnot. But such a great guy to see at a show.
Yeah.
He
And
always
you know
stood
what?
out with his very flamboyant shirts that his wife made for him, and
Sure. And the
uh,
greatest thing about
I love
everybody
that
knew
guy.
how great George Perez was, but when you went to his table, he had no background banners. He had a plain table and a pad of paper and the sign that said George Perez.
Hmm.
And lines forever. And his line just takes forever. Yeah.
Oh
But when
yeah.
he saw me, I sent him a picture when I went to Comic Palooza to pick up the commission from George Perez, right? He had his line of people, and I was coming up, just kind of like on the side, and he did one of these and saw me, and he recognized my face because I sent him a picture. I told him I was going to be wearing my Cubs hat, shirt, that kind of thing, certain shirt, and he just stops what he was doing, roots down, grabs the commission, and just basically he runs over to me before I even had a chance to get to him. That's how when you said like how flamboyant he was, the guy was excited about his work. He always was. He was excited about the people
He
that
loved the fans.
the
That's the
people.
thing. Yeah, he was somebody who always made you feel special. I mean, he just did, and he was always doing free sketches for a hero donation. That's how I think I've got 5 or 6 from him, just from giving him, like whatever, 40, $50, for just a simple 9 by 12 head sketch. But I'd get him and I'd have my son with me. We used to go to MegaCon a lot in the early 2000s. And so every year we'd get 1 or 2 from him if we could get back in line and get another one. So most of them are made out to my son, but it was awesome because he was just such a fun guy to hang around. I could get drawings from him all day and I'd never get bored or tired from it. And they'd always be great.
Oh yes, I agree with you. They were fun, fast. The guy was a fast drawer, but he was everything he did. I thought was gold. I loved everything he did, and it wasn't like an Adam Hughes sketch where it's a profile. You know how Adam Hughes always does this real quick kind of
Oh
profile.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Perez would do anything that he wanted, basically. At that point.
Yeah, same thing like, if you can get something from Walt Simonson, he's
Oh
Walt's
yeah,
always great to
yeah,
get a convention sketch from too.
yeah. As a matter of fact, I did get a convention sketch from Walt Simonson too, and that's when he was writing numbers on thumbs for like he did sketches for like 10 people, right? When he was done,
Hmm.
and he would come out and write a number on your thumb or your finger, like you were one or you were two, three, four, five, up to 10. He would do 10 of them. And then you show him that when you come up, and he would do your whatever sketch that you wanted to do for you.
That's
I'm
a
not sure
smart
if he
way to
still
do it.
does it because I know he's very much still in demand. So
Well, here we have Diane says, "Share your book of the dead." What is that?
oh yeah, Diane bought me a leather bound kind of binded book with like old pressed cotton pages that really look kind of antique. And
Hmm.
actually, in the other room, I wasn't going to show it tonight. And I think she thought I was going to journal in it, maybe, or something like that. It's really thick, about that thick, with a bunch of pages in it. It's got a little wrap binding rope around it. And I just ended up getting sketches in it. So, and I think the
Nothing
first one,
wrong with that.
yeah, and I went to, I think it was Mike McCone. I think it was the first one to put thing in there. And I was showing him the paper, and he was looking at the paper, and it was kind of a strange paper. It looked like burnt edges, kind of antique-ish, old paper, or like parchment almost. And he says, I think I could work. And he starts drawing Captain America in it. And I was like, hey, man, I'm trying to draw like dark or dead or evil, have a theme to it, dark, dead, zombies, monsters, or something like that. But he was drawing Captain America for me. I was like, that kind of didn't fit the theme.
Of the book.
Yeah. So then he started putting
He
like,
draws zombie Captain America,
he
right?
did. That's exactly what he did. He put
Is that
like
what he did?
sores in his head and on his cheeks and stuff like that. So, and he was like, how's that? I was like, oh, great. But he's one of my favorites. I know I saw something in there. Who are your favorite artists after Kirby and Ditko?
Hmm.
I love Mike McCone. I live in upstate New York, in Albany, New York, and they have a Comic Con every 6 months. It's a one-day Comic Con, And normally Mike McCone is always there, and I love just talking to the guy. And he gives me free doodles. I buy stuff, I buy commissions in his art from him too. But he's one of the other favorite artists that I like. Jay Anacleto. I'm not sure if that's how
Leto.
you pronounce
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I
Well,
just
yeah,
what I
pencil artist, but
Braille piece is. Oh, geez, I just love it. I think it was the cover of one of the variants of Batman 1027, I think it was, or something like that, or Detective Comics, maybe. Yeah, Janet Cleto was one of my favorites. Who was the Hulk artist? Dale Cohen?
Keown.
Keown. Thank you. Yeah, that's one Canadian guy, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I love collecting a lot of his art too. Well, some of it, and you see some of that in my art. I mean, if you look at my art gallery, I got a whole list of artists and inkers and stuff in there. But they're ones and twosies, that kind of thing, in each one of them. But I did like have a nice assortment of Burns and Perez's and uh, Anacleto now actually too, which I'm selling a couple of his this weekend too for Comic Art Life. And he's some of my
So
favorite.
you've been working on your booth for the last couple weeks,
Dude,
or
I
you're
got
all
a
done?
table right next to me here in my soon-to-be ex office. I'm taking over since Diane's going to be working full time. She's going to be taking over this office, and you probably saw in the chat that she actually gave me permission I could actually move all my art out into the living room and put it on the walls in the living room now. So I'm going to do that. So I got a desk here just with each day's assortment of artwork for Comic Art Live this weekend.
Oh, cool. So you get your
So the booth
Saturday
is set
drop.
up. Yeah, the booth is set up and we're ready to go, man.
Well, yeah. Well, that's great. I should go over there and see what you have set up right now. We can give, well, we won't give anybody a preview.
I don't think there's no real classic love, great ones or anything. Yeah, I've done a couple really nice ones, the past couple. But there's Kubert, Killen, uh, Jimenez in there.
Hmm.
Some Sean Chen, Kerry Gammill, a few others. You'll see them. You'll
I'm
see
going
them.
to. I'm going to do it while we're talking. 'Cause I can actually go in the hall and browse it right
What's my
now.
booth? Let's see. What's my booth name? I need to take a look at that. I think I put one long ass name to it or something. Maybe I should shorten it up.
Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, I'll do it probably after the show. But either way, is it Joe Kubert or Adam Kubert or Andy Kubert? Which Kubert are we talking about?
Um, Andy Kubert. And that's another person. You mentioned Joe Kubert there too. That's another one I would like to get. I don't have anything from Joe Kubert.
Joe is on my list as well. And I want to get even though I'm the Marvel guy, I want to get that Brave and the Bold Hawkman page. That's my goal. I just because his war art pretty affordable, but
Yeah.
so I'm going after something a little more pricey. But well, that's good. See, so everybody, we're talking about Comic Art Live tonight. You're all worried that you wouldn't get to hear one thing about it, but here we
No,
are.
right? I mean, we could sell. I mean, I got some sketch covers, the Andy Kubert one, as a matter of fact. I mean, we could sell the sketch covers too, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Here.
absolutely.
All right. So here's my plug for that. That's the Andy Kubert right there. So
There you go. Nice
Dark
Batman.
Knight 3 against Joker there, signed by. I'm not selling anything tonight, man. You have to take a look. I'm not going
We try to crack down on people showing off stuff because that's the thing everybody got in the habit of over the years is they would screenshot their booth the preview of their booth and then put it up on Facebook and everywhere else and they're
to.
still going to do it and
I've seen.
they're basically taking money off the floor by selling stuff that they were going to offer at the show and it's happened on Facebook. I'm not going to say anything about it, but when they would do it on CAF because some guys would screenshot a preview of what they were going to sell and then they put it in the CAF as an item and I'm like no. I mean, that's not art. That's a screenshot of your booth and you can do that on your stuff but you're not doing it here.
I know what
So
you mean. Oh,
yeah.
can we go back? I think it was something in the chat from Jason said he sold something already for Comic Art Live. Did you see that? Or Jason,
I
was that
did
you?
not see that. I didn't see it, but let's see.
Okay, yeah, no worries about it. Yeah, I was just wondering how that, how that went, or how that was possible.
Well, I'm almost to the T's here in the cafe in the Comic Art Live preview, so I'm almost to your booth. It's I always forget there's over 200 and I think there's 240 people who've set up booths already, so it's a long scroll when you're looking for somebody's name. We've never really made a search for the like a booth owner, but I guess I'll have to reconsider that thought and maybe add that to here. Anyway, all right. Back to you. So we know some grails. We've answered who some of your favorite artists are. I mean, do you have anything in your collection today that you would consider like, a grail? I mean, that is really like the top of one creator's work that you've always sought after.
Uh, a grail in that it's the artist I've always wanted.
Well, artists you always wanted, or piece you've always wanted. The thing is, you mentioned, a Buckler FF cover. Now, I'm assuming that Buckler FF cover is not on your wish list or want list, but do you have what about an interior page from a book like that? Since it's the first book you remember picking up, I mean, have you
Oh,
ever
I've never
like
really
that?
given it much thought, but like,
Mm-hmm.
like when it comes to like grail pieces, we talked about I want a Kirby, or I want a Ditko or something like that, and a grail pieces like that Alex Ross that you see in the background there too. I've always wanted to get a painted Alex Ross. I got some penciled Alex Ross stuff, but to get even a better page would be nicer,
Right.
the published page too. That's from a magazine cover. That's Shazam in the background there. I was on a big Shazam kick for a while. The Perez Shazam and Alex Ross Shazam. Dale Egerton was doing some Shazam stuff that I really liked. So when it comes to the more grails, I don't really have anything
Yeah.
in sight. I'm always looking like on comic art or on your website, and I see the people that have their classifieds out or new classes
Hmm.
bottom right, and looking through the dealers, and just looking for things that either appeal to me or they fit that bill of one of the artists that I really want to get something from, and I could take a look at it and maybe buy it. Who knows?
Right. Exactly. No, well, there's going to be, I'm browsing through the halls right now. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff, I think, in this one around. Hopefully, something for everyone. Although I can't promise a grail for anyone. What are you going to do? Um, well, why don't we look at some art then? We've got you've picked some
Oh,
pieces for us to talk about. And or you know what, even before we do that, because I can tell, I want to go back to a full screen with you because I can see on the back wall there's definitely some pieces that are not in the set that you gave me. So what does it take to make the back wall? I mean, I assume you have other art portfolios, but I can see there's that Shazam piece. I know that's one we're going to talk about later, but it looks like a maybe a Neal Adams Batman on there.
exactly. Good eye, man. Even for a fuzzy picture, yeah, you picked that one out pretty well.
It was a little blurry, but what's it take to make your wall? I mean, as far as pieces that come into your collection, because a lot of people don't hang, or don't frame and then hang the artwork.
It takes usually a good combination of what's on my wall is published and commissioned work. I like to kind of keep it kind of balanced out. But to make it to the wall, I mean, again, it's a personal appeal, of the art itself, along with the artist. Uh, Normally, if it was a published page, maybe in a key book or something like that, like
Mhm.
the J. Anacleto that we're going to take a look at was on I think it was the Detective 1027 or something. But oh, thank you. That Shazam Ross piece is pretty cool still. Anything Ross does, I think, is great. But to make the wall, if it frames nice, like that Batman, that Neal Adams, I got a nice frame for that in the background. There's an Incredible Hulk from Del Otto, who is again another one of my favorite artists actually, who I actually got to meet for the first time. He was at New York Comic Con, and I went to New York Comic Con this last year with my wife, and got to
Oh,
meet him.
nice.
and got some books and stuff signed from him there. But I definitely enjoy his original art too. That stuff is all, any of his art is well worthy to me.
I see you've named your booth Groovy Gifted Gregarious Comic Published Art.
Yeah, long enough, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, you're not gonna miss that one. Not at all. And then there was somebody want to know who did the Spider-Man piece in the upper right.
On the upper right, oh, that's Aaron Lopresti. They're talking about the, from that story arc where he had the six arms. I think it was 101. Was
Mhm.
101, 100, 101. Yeah, Aaron Lopresti did that. And I think he did a fantastic job of that too. That made it wall worthy, was the uniqueness of that too, actually. When you're talking about what makes the wall,
Mhm.
you just don't see a lot of the six-armed Spider-Man hanging around.
No, and that's not a common like convention sketch request.
Hmm.
Draw me this six-armed Spider-Man.
And I've just gotten into the Usagi Yojimbo. Is that how you pronounce
Hmm.
it? And you see
Yep.
that's a Mike McCone there in the background, right next to the Alex Ross. That's a Mike
Oh,
McCone.
was that something he had pre-done? I feel like, or maybe I've just seen that in your CAF gallery. Was that a commission that you?
It was, I think it was part of, he does these art drops every once in a while, and I think it was part of the
Hmm.
drops in there. And I liked it just because it was unique. I'd never seen him do a Usagi Yojimbo, and I like Stan Sakai too at the same time. And I thought it came out really good. It was, I deemed it wall worthy, like you're mentioning. That's a wall worthy piece. Like I see the ones in your background. I'm wondering who did that Hulk in the back, your background there, Bill.
Oh, that's the infamous Hulk and Pearls piece by Tom Morgan, one of the
Oh,
early dueling dealers. Yeah, Hulk and Pearls. It's
oh,
basically Hulk wearing he's wearing the a She-Hulk outfit. So he's got a pearl necklace on, and he's kind of got a torn, tattered dress.
mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it was used for. It might be written down in the piece. It's been a long time, but it was a piece of art that came up for sale. I think it was Berkey that had it in one of the first 10 episodes, and nobody wanted it, and we were all laughing about it. It was just like the funniest thing we'd all seen. And so as the show was ending, I claimed it. I was like, I think that was the first piece of art that I claimed as a kind of on a whim and as a joke, because it was just too funny, and the fact that we laughed so hard about it, and the chat just was so uproarious about about seeing it. I was like, I gotta own this just because I'm always going to remember this night, with these guys. And yeah, so that's what the Hulk is. It's a published piece, but
Oh,
uh,
really? Okay.
but beyond that, yeah, well, I got a Sean Phillips Nightcrawler. I've got a piece Andy Fish did for me as a gift with Thor and Wolverine drinking beers. There's a couple Ken Hazer pieces on the wall that were covers from when Dynamite did those Dueling Dealers covers for me. So I've got
Hmm.
a couple of those things on the wall, and then that is an Adam Hughes, Jean Grey, and then this is a Kamolo piece that has like Scott and Jean fighting a Sentinel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I
Just
love it.
a little bit of everything, and then I get all my illustration paintings and things that I collect on that wall. So
So that Hulk was your wall worthy piece, right?
it was. I could use a few
Great
more.
conversation.
There's certainly a few I'd like to track down from those early shows as well, but yeah, that one's good enough. We've got we have an Aquaman piece we all laugh about. I mean, anytime something fun that happened there that didn't get bought, I tried to buy just because I'll always be able to look at that stuff and remember the good times of getting to hang out with everybody in the chat. Jason says he thinks that the Hulk with pearls was from a Marble Age faux ad. I think so, because it's literally like it's a stack of books. It's almost as if
Hmm.
Hulk on a cover of a fashion magazine, but there's no logo on it, but it's drawn as if it's a stack of magazines.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. Let's get into some art, man.
yeah, let's look at some artwork here now. I think I put it in the reverse order that you gave it to me, so I hope that's
I
okay.
don't know what order I even put it in. It's like,
Maybe you had no order. You just gave me a set of links, and I just started downloading. So So you've
Oh,
been talking about being a Marvel fan, but we're starting off with Batman here.
okay. Not everything has to be Marvel, man. Okay.
Nope, it doesn't have to. No, not at all. I completely agree.
Have you heard of this guy, Kabar? Kibar?
Bar. I don't think so. I
He's
mean,
a French artist, and I met him in well through Facebook. He was offering commissions to be picked up at New York Comic Con. I think it was last year, right? And he did this work on black paper, and I've been getting a big kick out of a lot of things that I've been doing on black paper lately. You know, like Gabriel Del Auto's been doing a lot of colored pencil stuff, and I think he's a French artist. And when I met him, I think his name is he does his name backwards. He signs his name backwards, so I believe his name is actually Re, Re, Rebel or whatever his name or
Ribbit.
Ribic or something like that. And he
Yeah.
says he does that. He just does that, I guess. I don't know, just so people remember him. But I just love the way he did this. This is like a colored pencil kind of thing too, like the way Gabriel Del Auto does. And I just love the way black paper mixes in with these moody characters. You know, the shadows in the background and that kind of thing. And when they put the highlights, you see the highlights, you know, like on his arm and on the hip and the thigh and the areas there. And I'm sorry, yeah, this is not exactly the most sharpest piece, but you know, I love the way his work just transcends it. I mean, it looks much better in person as it is too. Now, let me see. That one is currently up on my wall. I think that's like a 10 by 14.
And it's
But
not.
he never tabled at New York Comic Con, so it was one of those cases where you emailed him like the day you were going to the Comic Con, and he kind of shows up and goes to you and picks it up. And
Mhm.
he's done covers for I think it was is it Godslayer's Spawn or Spawn Godslayer? You know, it's Todd McFarlane, you know, Todd McFarlane's crew over there too. He's done
Right.
covers for them too.
Um,
Sorry, I like that.
I did put the link in the chat so people can go over there. I think there's a few pieces by them on CAF as well. Not too many, 9 or 10, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But but yeah, not bad.
You like it? Really nice young guy.
Now
Speaking of
what's this one?
Gabriel Dotto, okay, not a lot of people see the his actual pencils. And this was from I think it was an Avengers annual, New Avengers annual, I believe it is. And you see like these kind of almost kind of reject. I mean, there's well, I'm not sure if you remember Black Goliath from the day, but that's a different costume
Mm.
there. And I can't name all these guys. And I think that's supposed to be Wonder Man over there on the left. But that's just an example of a double page splash from Gabriel Del Auto. Uh, Nothing but pencils. And I'm a fan of pencils, by the way. You know, not really a big fan of putting ink over something like this or painting over it, but I really like graphic design, I think. And I think he did a great job on this one.
There, I got the link in the chat for this piece too. This isn't the only piece by Delato that you have. The other two pieces, at least in your CAF gallery, are colored. You got a nice Doom and a Hulk.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we'll see the Hulk one. I think I sent you a scan on too, and that's definitely one of my favorites. That I unfortunately, like an idiot, just sold. So,
Why would you do that?
oh, you know, it's for the money.
It's for the money. So that was the one that was the Hulk that the gentleman made you an offer you couldn't refuse.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's in a good home. That's the way I look at it too.
Well, that's I think the right way to look at things in this hobby. You're just a caretaker for the moment. One way or another, you're not gonna
It is.
take it
Yeah.
with you to the grave. I liked a lot of stuff too, and that's cool that you like pencils. So if you see something like this, that's pencils only, you kind of have to look twice just because of just I don't know. Delato's a good person, I think, to pick stuff up from his tonal work. I think
Hmm.
he's like Anacleto in his own way, very very detailed in his
Yeah, I
work
see
like
it.
this.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Oh, this
All
one.
right.
I really like this.
Who's the artist on this one?
Any guesses? Oh, maybe you scan down, you probably see it.
I can cheat. No.
Look on the pack. Look on the pack.
Oh, Tucci. All
Yeah,
right, there
Gucci.
we go.
There it is, man. He's a and I was in the military when I bought this actually from, and I introduced my wife and I. We got a picture with Billy Tucci on this one. This is actually a cover to Sergeant Rock, the Lost Battalion. I'm not sure if anybody remembers that story from DC a while ago. It's kind of based on a true story, but they kind of threw in the fictional Sergeant Rock with it too. And this was the pencil cover of one of the issues. I actually have it up on my wall right here, and I can't tell what issue it was. But again, that's probably.
Um, I'm
But
looking at your calf. Let's see. Issue 5.
issue 5, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was Mark Sparacio. Sparacio, he's like a painter or something like that. Kind of painted it, and the cover looks just gorgeously painted. But this is the penciled work by Billy Tucci on it. And meeting him, he's a big military guy. I mean, he really likes the military. He's got some military stories, and I like his the She stuff that he did. Remember She? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I think this pencil work in this was just brilliant.
That's very detailed, and Sparacchio is also a very talented artist.
That's for all the veterans out there on this Veterans Day.
There you go. Look, Jason's trying to buy art from you in the chat right now.
Oh,
See that? Like,
uh,
if you let that Churchill X-Men go, please let me know. Well, I'm
you
the
weren't
one
the
on
one that sent
camera.
me an email on that, were you, Jason? I just got an email on that just like yesterday or today, and they were saying they were wondering what I wanted to do with it, because I don't have it for sale, because this person was looking for a Jean Grey, Jean Grey Logan themed pages, that kind of thing, and that's what that Churchill page is. I don't know. I just got it. I think I got that from Heritage. From Heritage.
Well, make Jason wait a little bit. He's
Hey,
trying to give Jason. He's going to be on the CAF update with me on Thursday, so I'm trying to
wait.
give him some things to simmer on for a few, for the next 48 hours, so he can get angry with me when I get to see him.
But
But uh,
either way, I'm gonna probably hold on to it for a little bit because like I said, I just got it from Heritage, and it's on my wall right now in a frame. I'm really enjoying
well,
looking
he's
at.
he's he's a patient man, he says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I there's still you can get Ian's. I think doesn't Churchill have a website out there? I think he's even got some pages from those first couple X-Men books. I mean, he doesn't. I think he prices them kind of high, but they are out there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I ended up getting a commission from him through his
uh,
website too. Going through his website, I think it was. That was a while ago. Really nice commission. I love Ian Churchill's work too, actually.
I am a big fan of Ian's work as well. Spencer Beck used to rep him. I always tell everybody the story. His stuff was so cheap on Spencer's site,
Yeah,
because back when he did, he had, what did he do, some Hulk covers? He did some Cable covers for sure. And when I first started collecting, they were all like $350.
really.
Or right around 2000, and I was like, oh, they're just gonna be there forever. I'll come back and get one another time. I never did,
I ended
but
up getting a couple of his pages from. I'm not sure if he kind of changed his style for this. Was for Marine Man. Do you remember it?
yeah.
Yeah, it was more of a cartoonish kind of style, anime, almost looked like an animated kind of style. But yeah, it was still good. The pages were still good. I got a page or two from that. A little less line work in it, less detail, more of a cartoony kind of look. But yeah, Ian Churchill, yes, I
I'm
agree.
a fan. Yeah, big fan. And Marcus, you're right. 350 was high back then, but even then, it didn't. I don't know. I mean, I was paying $350 for good splashes and things, and even at that time, you could spend anywhere between 500 and 1,000 on good covers, and then here were all these Ian. I mean, literally, Spencer must have had like 20 Ian Churchill covers on his website for a couple of years consecutive, and I never changed the price on them, and I still never picked one up because there was always something else to buy, right? I mean, that's the problem. You see something you like artistically, and you're like, oh, I could own that. I could own that.
Well,
Then you
I,
see something else.
with Spencer, he just needs to update that website every once in a while.
Oh no, 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 no. I think all of us in the hobby want that site to, I want it to be up there 20 years from now. I really do. I think that
Oh,
would
I was
be
trying to get some Marshall Rogers stuff from him actually, but everything he was like, oh, sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. Don't have anything left, but it was still advertised on the site, that kind of thing.
right.
Okay,
Back in the day, I mean,
get
I
updated.
haven't been on his site in probably 2 years, but I mean, even
Yeah,
then,
for
2 years ago, he might have had, whatever, like 15, 18 artists, listed. But when you and I were first starting collecting, late 90s, for sure. I mean, he had like 60, 70 artists that were listed up there, and there was just so much stuff, but it was just hard to sift through.
yeah.
You
He had a
just
lot of
never knew
George
what you were gonna
Perez
find.
stuff too. George
Oh,
Perez.
a ton of yeah, Georgia stuff. Yeah, I mean, oh, see now I'm gonna get depressed. But anyway, there we have it. He fell. Yeah. All right,
24
Mark.
cats. Okay. Okay.
Let's see.
We could save that story for later.
Yes, if Marcus comes onto the channel someday, he can tell whatever that story is. But here, I think this next piece is by Miko, right? Or am I reading that wrong? It
Oh
looks
yeah,
like
Amigos one.
Gwen.
Man, I don't know. I don't remember where I got. I might have got this from like either Anthony or Berkey's website or something like. I think it was Berkey's website. Rabina Man, right? Isn't that
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's Miko Swayan from what is it? Joker, Harley, Criminal, Sanity Secret
Identity?
Files. So it's a splash. It's not even a cover.
Yeah, yeah. It was part of their secret files, kind of like a pinup kind of splash thing. But again, it's a Miko's one. It's got that little dash of color for the green and the red, for the Joker. Otherwise, just like it's a really nice black and white. And again, there's that kind of nice, kind of moody, almost all graphite, pencil kind of style with the kind of tones in there. But it looks like some brushwork in there.
Yeah, no, I love Miko's work. He's going to be at OAX for the third consecutive
Oh, that's
year.
my bucket list item. I was going to tell you that too, man. I want to go to OAX. I mean, is this your second or third year?
This is the third one. Yeah, February.
I
You're
haven't been.
retired now. You've got no excuse not to be able to travel outside of the lack of funds.
Yeah, I'll just have to stay at your house. I have to save some hotel money.
Well, there's I think we got a pretty decent rate for Orlando at that time of year. I know there are, there's a few other hotels in the area. I have no idea what their rates are, but we're right across, from the Orlando resort, so and the parks and everything. So there's plenty of places to stay and plenty of things to do, and you can tell Diane we do consider it a couples show. We sell couples tickets, and we encourage people to take vacations when they come out. And you can leave the kids at home, or and here's the plug. If you have kids that are 16 and under, you can bring them and they're free. So we don't charge anything. There you
Oh,
go. Now I'm plugging OAX here.
that sounds good. I will pass that on.
Where are you based out of, though, Greg?
Where am I living right now?
Yeah.
Outside of Albany, upstate New York.
Okay. Well, hitch
Uh,
a ride with Anthony Snyder on the way down or something. Just slip
oh,
a few
true. Yeah,
bucks.
he's in Jersey though, right? Yeah, he's in Jersey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he? Yeah, that'd be
Oh
interesting.
boy.
Yeah, I got to meet him a couple times too, and bought some stuff from the dueling dealers. I think from him every once in a while. I see him at the Comic Cons all the time.
Well, that's cool. So yeah, Jason says that he and James Siegel are going to go as a couple this year to save money. Well, just remember, guys, we actually write in the stipulation, Greg, that if we don't believe you're a couple, we may ask you to kiss. And
Yeah, you have a kiss cam out on the floor.
So yeah, we don't want anybody messing around with us there. But back to the piece by Miko. Yeah, Miko is awesome. I mean, he combines graphite, and his stuff. I mean, sometimes he's even using airbrush. It doesn't look like on this piece, but he just gets really great. He has such a great tonal quality, regardless of what he's using, whether it's graphite or ink wash or a little bit of airbrush. I mean, look at the leather jacket. It looks real. And
Oh,
I
the
think,
folds in it. Yeah, the leather look. Yeah.
yeah, he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing and a very nice guy. Much better hair than I have. He got his barber is worth their weight in gold. But Miko's fun. He's definitely so. There you go. But if you were to make it down in February, you could meet the man himself.
That'd be great. Oh, I did meet him at a con once, I believe.
Oh, you did? Oh,
He
okay.
gave me a remark on something. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, he was a nice. I agree with
There you go. The agent says he runs past Anthony's booth and screams package deals.
you. I did go by his booth at New York Comic Con too. Oh, and also, I'm not sure if you know anything about Bulletproof Comics. Uh,
Bulletproof
there-
Comics.
yeah,
I
there's a
don't think
gentleman
so.
there that runs a Bulletproof comic shop out of Brooklyn, and well, I'll talk about it more when the Hulk piece comes out because that's who I got it from. I got it from this guy in from Bulletproof. So let's continue.
Okay. Well, let's go to the next piece here. So we've got a crossover that we never thought we needed, but now that we see it, we're curious.
Oh, I needed this crossover. I thought this was
Yeah.
so cool, and I never heard anybody else do anything even mentioning, oh, Voldemort versus Doctor Strange. Who would do something like that? And it's a J.K. Woodward again. And when I approached him about it, he was like, "Yeah," and he got super excited, like a lot of artists sometimes do when they get a chance to do something new. And I like the way he combined like the background with this. I mean, the background's got that kind of Doctor Strange kind of weirdness to it with the Voldemort, Harry Potter, crackling and magic work in there. And he tried to make them as movie-like as possible, using like the Benedict Cumberbatch Strange against the
Sure.
Ralph Fiennes guy who played Voldemort. Yeah, this was one of the first ones I got from J.K. Woodward, and I think it was one of his best, honestly, for me that I got from him.
And you've had it on the site since 2016.
Hmm.
It would have been one of your earliest posts, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Wow.
still one of my favorites. One of my wife's favorites too, because we're both Potterheads, so we both love Harry Potter too.
There you go. See, now there's another reason for you to come down to Orlando. I assume you've been to Universal then before.
I have. I've been there. That's where I picked up my robes. My
So you,
Slytherin
you are you
or
you are
what?
a true Potterhead.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
All right, you've had butterbeer.
Did have butterbeer, yes.
Now at Epic
Rides were
Universe
great.
they do have a butterbeer crepe at Epic Universe. So now I'm sure you haven't had that yet, unless you've already come down to the new park.
Nope, not yet. I haven't been down to the new one yet.
Okay.
Gonna have to make that down there. When I go to OAX, I'll go to Universal Studios.
Yeah. Well, we always talk about we went to Universal after the first in year one. We went there as a group, and I don't think we really had a strong plan in year two. I ended up going to Hollywood Studios with some collectors after OEX last year. But yeah, there's always something to do. So then we got a Superman here. So you definitely cross over back and forth between the Marvel and the DC characters.
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree with you, on that. I mean, not so much. I don't think I got much like with the Image characters or anything. Most of it's all like Marvel and DC, fairly balanced. And again, I blame Byrne and Perez for that when they made that switch over to from Marvel over to DC, and I started reading more DC and got more into DC. But this is a Jim Starlin,
Inked by Al Milgrom.
Al Milgrom. Okay, do you see the Gemini sketch or the Gemini signature there?
I did.
Yeah. Do you know the story behind that? I had to find out from Jim Starlin himself.
I
Actually,
I do
I got
not know the
this updated.
story behind that.
Yeah, I got this updated, and I actually have it double signed by Jim Starlin and Al Milgrom. Okay.
Hmm.
But apparently, when they were doing pencils and inks together, they would sign it Gemini for Jim and I. Meaning Jim
Marcus knew it. Look at that, Jim
Milgrom.
and
Yeah, Gemini. Yeah, Marcus put it in there.
interesting.
So
No, I had not heard that
I thought that
before.
was really cool. I thought that was I thought that was like, okay, that's something that no one else knows, man. This is really cool. But then I ended up actually seeing both of them at a con, and they both signed it for me. Jim Starlin and Al Milgrom.
So you picked this up from where? Not from either of them. Auction house.
I picked it up probably from one of the dealer websites, maybe.
Mm.
I think, like I said, I think it was a while ago. It was a while ago. I mean, what is it? Dated 06 there, 2006, but
Right.
I got it, I think, like in 2013, 14, 15, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, you posted it to CAF in 14.
But
No, very nice.
I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, Jim Starr, everybody always likes to get the Thanos and Warlocks and stuff like that. But I
Right,
didn't.
and a lot of times you don't get backgrounds, with Jim's
True.
commissions, convention style sketches and whatnot. A lot of that is just single character, maybe a light, uh, grounding of the character, but certainly not a lot of background. So that's really nice.
Gave a nice planetary background there, so
Hmm. Yeah, congrats on that one.
I really like that one. Oh, and that's the one we saw earlier.
Yep,
I
we were
want
looking
to
at.
say that that was a cover to a magazine, I believe, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you have access to the CAF part of that.
I am in your
I think it was
calf right now.
an English magazine or something like that, but that was a cover to it. But I thought that was cool. That kind of drew me to it. I was like, oh, Alex Ross cover, and it was kind of reasonably priced, I guess you would say.
Yeah, back I covered a back issue 30.
Yeah, Back Issue was the name of the magazine.
Look at that. You were 200 pieces of art shy of being the 2 millionth artwork posted to CAF. Very close.
Okay, 2 millionth.
The 2 millionth. Yeah. Well, we've been at this for over 22 years, 23 years in February. So yeah, I mean, there's only, a lot of art's been removed. I think there's only, 1.25 to 1.3 million live pieces of art on CAF today. But yeah, you just missed it. That I wonder if I have to go check and see what the 2 millionth artwork was, if it's even up there anymore.
I don't
Nope, it was removed. Oh well. I could have given a no prize to somebody.
know.
Not even 2 million and one is up there.
Oh, that's what I was going to give you this idea. Maybe
Oh
during
yeah,
Comic
what's that?
Art Live, you could give away tickets for OAX. How about that? Tickets and airfare and hotel.
Man, we already do that for a lot of the artists.
Well, for
We
the
gotta do that for
artists,
the
yeah, for
collectors
the artists.
too. Uh, yeah, that's
Raffle, a
well,
raffle.
well, we promised Marcus a free ticket if he would show up. It's just trying to get the man, the myth, the legend to make it to the East Coast one of these days. But he likes his West Coast shows.
For anybody that buys a piece of art during Comic Art Live, you'll be entered into a raffle for OAX tickets, full airfare, hotel, well, and some spending cash too. Okay.
Oh my God, you ask for the moon. Yeah, that'll be when yeah. I,
I like the drink
I'll
tickets too.
bring that up with the board that you mentioned earlier, and we'll see what they think about it. If we can get the right sponsor for that giveaway, I'm all in.
Nice. Yeah. Now you're thinking, man, get some sponsors in on
Yep. Oh man, everybody's
it.
trying
Bill
to
will
get
invoice
Marcus.
you for that.
It actually, what does cost us money, Marcus, with travel and we remember we have open bar, we food. I mean, man, everything we might as well be giving away free massages at the spa for everybody who ends up being a VIP. I'm kidding, of course. At any rate, back to the Alex Ross. It's beautiful, I mean, it's
It is
everything you'd want in a Ross is a painted piece. I mean, come on, it's like a fine artwork, right? There's no ink
right.
lines. It's all just it's just gorgeous.
The
And
colors are popping. He's got that show of speed, whatever those speed lines or maybe the distorted background. I just love it. It would have been nice to have a bottom portion of it to make it a full figure, that kind of.
Mhm.
But I think what they did here, they showed off the best. And Alex Ross always has the best, I think, stories too. He's always doing the photo reference, and you see, the guys, in the same kind of pose, that kind of thing. I love the way he works his style.
Oh no, I'm the same here. And then yeah, this is really nice. I mean, the colors that he's using. I mean, the background complements the character. I mean, it's cool. I mean, so yeah. I mean, and a lot of us, there are many of us out there that don't feel we can ever own an Alex Ross, but they are obtainable, and they're not all 30 to 40,000 out the gate. There are pieces you can get under 10. So if Ross is on your list, it's sometimes you just have to ask around. You'd be surprised.
You do.
But I love his pencil work too, though. I mean, I really I like his prelims a lot. I mean, he
Oh
puts a
yeah.
lot of detail in those.
I do got a couple of pencil prelims of his too. Things that were, I think it's a pencil prelim again of Shazam, Captain Marvel, but it was done for, I think it was these Marvel Disney plates, that they had actual plates that they uh, put his work on. Whether it was Justice League, Shazam, I think it was in there, and a couple other people. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. I actually got one up on the wall in the back here, but you can't see it. It's actually up further. You may see it there. You see that circular disc?
Here, let me switch over to full
You'll
screen
go
here.
full.
Oh, yeah, the one right over you?
Yeah, right here. That's an example of Alex Ross pencils for Shazam that was made into a plate that they sold at the Disney or whoever owned them at the time. I thought
Very
that
cool. Jason says he only has a pencil piece, and Marcus says I only got Astro City.
Astro
Okay,
City too. Yeah.
yeah. And I actually started changing ID numbers, trying to find anything close to 2 million, and nothing. Not one piece. Everything got taken down. Um, oh well, it's worth a try. What do we got next here? Oh, well, this is the Perez piece you were
That's the
talking about,
comic
right?
Palooza piece right there.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, heck yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean,
Comes
I
on that.
love his pencil stuff. There's not enough of this out there. Where people asked him, or he had the time to put this much tonal work into a commission at a show.
Hmm.
But yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, Charles, you're right. It was at the Warner Brothers Studio store is where those plates were, the Alex Ross plates. But yeah, this Shazam, oh geez. I mean, I talked to him for about 15 or 20 minutes, and I kept the other kids waiting, for their drawings, because I was talking to him about this. It was done on all pencil tones, so you could feel the roughness of the graphite, the pencil tones that he used on there. So it would smudge if it was moved up against something, right?
Hmm.
I was talking to him about adding putting a fixative, like a sealant around it, and he was like, you probably want to do that because it probably would yellow. And I was like, oh, this is awesome advice, coming from the master, that kind of thing. But I ended up putting a fixative over it, and it is kind of yellowing now. So, but
You
I would
can't win sometimes.
didn't want it to smear, that kind of thing before I
Of
put it.
course.
But
Well,
still,
let's
that's
see
one
here.
of my favorites
Now
there.
you colored this one though, because if people were paying
Oh,
attention
yeah,
when we
yeah,
did
nice
the
call.
intro video, he was colored. So here you go.
And guess who that was done by his buddy too, Tom Smith, I believe. I think
Smith,
that's
yep.
the signature there.
So did you send Tom like a blue
It
line or? Yep.
it was just a scan. It was a
Good.
scan basically. I sent that to Tom Smith. And I think that was from an email from him because he saw it. I'm not sure where he saw it. Maybe he saw it on CAF or something like that. He said something like, "Hey, this would look great colored." He was just trying to get some business, I guess. And I was like, "Yeah, I think give it a shot, man. Tell me how it goes." And he did a great job coloring it too.
Yeah, he visited CAF. Yeah, he's I know he's solicited doing color pieces for a lot of people, and the ones that took him up on it, they all came out great.
Oh, this one's interesting. This is an unpublished cover from Gilliam March, I believe.
Mhm.
He pronounces his last name right. I don't know where he's from. I don't know much about him. But when I saw this, and I think I saw it, I'm not sure if it was his website or something. I was like, this is fantastic. And for being an unpublished or unused cover, I was like, this is ridiculous. I remember when I ordered this and I got it, it came back with a bunch of different prelims too, prelim sheets,
Mhm.
different layouts of how he wanted to draw it, that kind of thing. But I think what he did here in the final, I think it was fantastic. I mean, look, that line work just for Harley is great, and you can see it's from looks like some blue line there.
Yeah, I just put the link to that one in the chat too.
Unused Harley cover.
Yeah, Guillaume Mart, isn't he? He's rep by Kirby's Comic Art, maybe? I can't
I
remember.
think that's where I got it, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
Annabelle Kirby,
Okay.
right? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple pieces from Annabelle, and I'm pretty sure this was one of them. Yeah. Thanks for a reminder on that one. I haven't gotten anything from them in a while.
Well, she does regular art drops, I think, pretty much every week
Oh, Kirby.
now. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I have to take a look at that. Yeah, I met her once at a Comic Con. She was fun. Oh, Mac.
Let's see, this is David Mack, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
this is a variant cover actually. It was a variant cover to I think a Justice League book. But I love the detail and I love green. I mean, if you see some of my other pieces in here, whether it's the Doom or that Incredible Hulk or the Mac, I have the Mac on my back wall here too that you can't see. But I love the use of green in color.
Yeah, it says this was from let's see, JLA Brightest Day
Oh, right.
issue 44.
I love the detail. He's got a cool face there. I just love that kind of detail they put in the face.
Yeah, the colors are fantastic.
And isn't he like some international ambassador for of art for the U.S. or something? I think I've something.
Well, he's done a lot of work for Marvel film, right? I think he's whether it's
Uh,
character designs and some stuff for their intro scenes. Uh, so he's
I know he's
in that scene. So that's why he's, I think, really well known is for that. He did like the intro graphics for the Daredevil TV show and a few others. I think one of the Cap Winter Soldier as well, maybe. I can't remember all of them, but he gets around thanks to having those kind of gigs, right? You get to meet a lot of the actors and travel the world.
and he does. Yep. But again, I think a really nice piece. I like what he did.
Mhm. I've got a Wolverine, just a pen and ink piece by him.
Oh, this
So
is
here we go. Another team up or battle you never thought you'd live to see. Thor
yeah.
fighting
That's just the reason
Godzilla.
why I got it, and I wanted to get Thor and Godzilla in one splash page. And this is just recently. I think I think Godzilla was kind of licensed out to Marvel, and you saw all these Godzilla versus Avengers, Godzilla versus Thor, Godzilla. I think it was like 6 months ago or something like that. They bought these out, and the artist Aaron Cooter did some Thor stuff, and he does some really great detail work and line work, I think. But I really got into the Godzilla crossover thing. I don't know why. It's like I think it was when the DC side was uh, crossing over into the Looney Tunes. Remember those stories that came out in the art? Yeah, and it was like Batman and Elmer Fudd crossover. I mean, it sounded so ludicrous at the time, but I actually bought that issue and it was excellent. I mean, Elmer Fudd played a very serious, still with the list, that kind of thing. I was like, that's fantastic, man. And I felt the same way with these. I think some of the stories, I think Jason Aaron, I think, wrote the story. Yeah, Jason Aaron did a lot of Thor writing, and he did
That's
this
true.
one with Godzilla, and kind of made it comic book believable. And not the campy kind of real over the top kind of stuff with that you may see in some Godzilla stories. Because I think it ended up with Godzilla having a piece of that the God Killer's sword. I think it was. He ended up being like Godzilla, the God Butcher. You know,
Uh,
in
all
the
right. I did not read this one, but I mean, heck, there
oh,
was a cover by Jeremy Wilson that was had Cyclops battling Godzilla. So I mean, everybody's fighting Godzilla these days. If they'd
that's
only all do
that's
it
good.
together, they might stand a chance to take him out. But
I think DC did what was it, Godzilla and Kong versus like the JLA or something like that. So yeah, they're taking advantage of these characters now and making some good crossovers, which we're gonna see, I think, in my lifetime, the DC Marvel movie crossover, right? Have you ever had a talk about that?
we have not.
No,
I no.
it's gonna happen. Money
It could happen.
talks.
It, with if the with the right motivation, it'll happen.
Oh yeah. I can see DC and Marvel crossing
Why
over.
wouldn't Deadpool should do it first. They should find a way to sneak in somebody from DC, get Lobo in there or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
There would be there's some concepts that they could probably work out, and it would be a show like that that could probably make it happen.
yep. It'll happen. It'll happen.
But Aaron Cooter's an artist that we talk a lot about on the CAF update. We all like his work a
Do
lot.
you really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, oh yeah.
Sorry.
Like you said, the
I don't. Yeah, I
very
don't.
the
Oh,
detail oriented work. I mean, when you look at all the cross hatching in the clouds around Godzilla, I mean, I just like it a lot. And the store is pretty good too.
yeah. I picked this up at New York Comic Con, and he did a Savage Land Rogue for me, like a little small 9 by 12 commission kind of thing for me at the convention or at the New York Comic Con. He's only done some great stuff. I really like it, what he's been doing. Super nice guy. He was there with his wife, like a lot of artists these days. They've been bringing their spouse or partners.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to do it with the family than without. Let them share in the fun. All right, Herb Trimpe here.
Love this piece, man. So simplistically basic, but so cool at the same time. And this is the one I kind of talked back and forth with him, and I sent him a. I'm not sure if any of our people that are watching have seen this kind of pose before, but the
No,
pose.
I was going to say that's what's cool about this piece is it's not the atypical Trimpe pose for Wolverine because a lot of people just want that first appearance of him jumping into battle, kind of drawing from him, and that's what makes this thing so unique is the fact that it's not that.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not that unique because it's a John Byrne pose.
Ah, is that what you told him?
John
I want
Byrne's
this one.
edition. I'm sorry, I had to hack it, and I told Herb about it too, and he was fine with it too. But there's a commission by John Byrne, pretty much kind of doing this, but it looks like it's ripping through the paper, through the paper, and it's got different scenes, I think, in the background, that kind of thing. Was one of his big commissions that he's done. And I was talking to Herb Trimp about it. I was like, hey, can you kind of do it like this? Have it kind of ripping, going across. Looks like it may be ripping the paper or something. And he was like, yeah, no problem. And he whipped this out real quick and sent it to me within weeks.
That's
I
awesome. Herb
love
was
it.
a very nice guy. He really was, and he he got to work on some pretty special stories in his time. Well, stuff that maybe people might not think were the best, but it's very nostalgic points in young minds reading comics. With Transformers and whatnot. But yeah, very 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 nice guy. And I'm glad you got him to do something a little different with this piece because I guarantee you we won't see another one like it.
It was. Yeah, the John Byrne Wolverine was the classic Wolverine with the longer horns and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
he did his version, the basically the way he was drawing Wolverine at the time. And I actually asked for that classic Wolverine with the shorter horns, with the little whiskers hanging on the side. It looks like it. So yeah, I think he did fantastic with this one. Again, that's another one on my wall too. That one was well worthy.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's kind of something like that is irreplaceable, certainly, and not just because Herb's not here. You just won't see anything like this again. Now,
Oh,
this is a Keone, right? So this looks like a prelim.
this is a prelim actually.
Okay.
And you can see his perspective and all his line work that he's actually putting in there. But I thought this is a page of where the Hulk was being kind of psychoanalyzed by Doc Samson, and so this is all kind of figuratively, but this is kind of happening, I think, in the Hulk's mind or something like that. But yeah, Dale Killen, I got a couple pages from that the whatever Hulk issue that was, and again, it's all pencil, and like you were saying, it's definitely a prelim. But I like seeing prelims that are very detailed, and he puts some good detail in his figure work here. And again, still not finished.
Looks like Christmas time, and let's see, it was from Hulk 377, the title page for that.
Yeah, it was the first page on there. Yeah,
Well, back to you said you like pencils, so this is right up your alley.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. There's some great pencil work people out there, whether it's colored pencils or just the black pencil.
All right, next up.
Is that detailed or what?
That's super detailed.
It's like obviously if it's super detailed, it's either Perez or what I've always considered Perez's kind of not mentor but intern or someone like that. Phil Jimenez.
Jimenez, yeah. I had a feeling. I was just gonna do a search in your CAF gallery. I love Phil's stuff. He's awesome.
Yeah, another great guy too. But geez, man, just the detail they could put in, and I think this is a double page splash, or double page splash too.
Yeah,
And
from Infinite Crisis issue 1 with Andy Lanning inks.
Andy Landing links, yeah.
There we go. I'll put the link in the chat for that one too.
But it's just so much. I mean, I got to get in closer just to see everything. Yeah, yeah, just to see everything that's put into just like one panel. Oh, there's Shazam too, man. That's my buddy.
Looks like he took a beating.
That's probably why I bought it.
Oh man, well that's a good one. Phil's a very nice guy too. Again, his work is, he definitely has that Perez vibe, but I think over the years it's kind of,
He's developed his own.
yeah, he's developed his own. I mean, it's there. It's like calling, saying Nick Bradshaw because he likes Art Adams stuff is a clone of him, or Nick Patera and Frank Whiteley. What are you going to do? Like, people see styles, they kind of follow it, and then eventually they kind of fall into their own thing. And Phil definitely, you can tell if a piece from Phil versus a piece from George any day.
Well, you brought up another artist I'm going to be looking for this weekend too. You said
Yeah.
Frank Whiteley. I really do need. There's not a lot of stuff out there for Frank Whiteley, right?
Well,
Super Legacy.
it's there. I saw you had a nice Wolverine,
Yeah, like
commission
a
style
Logan
piece.
piece is, yeah. But I'm still looking for probably a published page or something like that.
Yeah. I used to own the cover to the first new X-Men with Quitely and Grant Morrison.
Did you?
I had it. No, I sold it, but I had it. I had about 6 other Frank Quitely new X-Men covers too, because every time they'd come up, I'd buy them when he was being repped by Mitch. I just loved his stuff, and I don't know, at that time people weren't snatching them up, so I would just pick them up.
Yeah.
And I only own a couple interiors now, but I love Quitely's stuff. And your Logan sketch is very nice.
Oh yeah, it's nice. I like it. It's bigger. It's 11/7 by 17. I think it's pencil on a blue line stuff. Does he do a lot of blue line?
Does
Published
he?
on a blue line?
No, I think a lot of his stuff might be just done from his pencils, because his pencils are so detailed. I mean, early on, there were lots of different people inking him, but I know he didn't like the way they inked his work. Like when Tim Townsend was inking his stuff for New X-Men, I know that he wasn't a fan of it. And uh, yeah, it is what it is. His pencils are so tight, you almost don't need to ink them.
Right. I love it. He's got his own unique style too. It's almost like a puffy, almost like a little puffy character. Sometimes it feels like.
Yeah, that's one way to say it. I mean,
Way to say
I always
it. I
thought of
don't
him as kind of like he has like a turn of the century illustrator kind of vibe to his work, but it's very unique. And
know.
and is right. You can still get some stuff from through Brit Comics Art, because Joseph Melchior does rep Frank Quitely, so you can always get something from Joseph from that. Puffy drunken characters, says Marcus. Yeah, they can be rude at times. Now this piece, what's the significance of this piece?
This one just interested the crap out of me because number one, I like Kerry Gammill. It's a Kerry Gammill
Mhm.
prelim. It was something to Marvel fanfare, and I just really liked it. I was looking at it and I was like, for a prelim, I mean, look at that layout, look at that detail that he put into this prelim. I mean, practically got like the whole landscape, mapped out in the back as it is. And just the way he set this out, and again, it's a double page splash, and I think, like I said, I think it was in Marvel Fanfare, I believe. And seeing the final piece like in color with the final sharp edges, is fantastic. But just to see it as a prelim, and I got this directly, I think, from Kerry Gammill down in Dallas. I think he lives in Dallas, I think too. I think it was Dallas Fan Expo. And he was like, yeah, I mean, and he's very schooled apparently. I think he does do some instructing, I think, in cartooning and comic artist stuff. And he seemed pretty proud of this layout when
You
I
know,
was
this is the most commented artwork in your CAF gallery.
this one, Kerry Gammill?
Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah, I mean,
No way.
yeah,
Oh,
it's got, and this is criminal for all the pieces you have. You have over 300 pieces in your calf. You have 6 comments on this one, but you have a whole bunch of pieces that have 5 comments on them. So I
yeah.
think we need to get in there and start increasing some of the comment counts on your stuff.
Ah,
'Cause,
that's all right. Don't worry. I don't care.
no, hey, comments are where it's at. Yep, that is true. But cool. So you got this straight from Kerry as well.
Mm-hmm. And again, I'm the nice guy. I always like getting something from him, whether it's a convention sketch or a piece of art or published art.
Is this ballpoint? Is some of this
I think some of it is in ballpoint pen. A lot of it's in ballpoint pen, I think. But you can see
interesting?
some marker in there too.
Hmm. All right. What do we got next? This is your Anacleto, right?
Perhaps my grail, my favorite piece probably of all time, and it's fairly recent too. So that may change, but geez, I mean, this is all graphic, and you see the Detective Comics 1027. It's one of those variant covers of Jay's. Oh yeah, see, that was a good scan because man, look at the detail in that as you come up.
Yeah, that one came out good. Yeah, Jay's work is so detailed. I've always appreciated that in his work, but and I've seen his ink work as well. But I like a lot of people, like you too. I'm sure you prefer the pencil work from Jay.
Hmm. And that's what this was too. I think I got it from. He's repped. I'm not sure if it's repped or not, but I see a lot of his art on Three Wishes. Does that
Right.
sound?
Yeah. Yeah. He is rep by Three Wishes. That's how we got him coming to OAX because of Kirk Dilbeck and
Oh,
of
really? Yeah.
course, yeah, yeah, Anacleto and Steven Segovia are both coming
Even Segovia.
with
Yeah,
Kirk.
it is. Yeah. But man, look at that. That is just so awesome. It's a cover. Number one, it's a cover. I've been kind of getting it more and more in the covers lately, the last year or two, just because I think they're more key. Sometimes they're more iconic too. But this one I think is iconic just because it's beautiful. He did another one too, I think, with Batman as the centerpiece with villains and stuff around that I would probably buy if it came out, if I see it somewhere.
Hmm.
But I mean, look at that. Jeez. What is there not to like? Now, is that okay? Just for my confirmation, is that Ra's daughter on the left, or is that somebody
Uh,
else?
I I'm assuming that would be, but I'm not remember Greg. I'm the guy who only reads Marvel, but
Yeah, no. Oh, maybe somebody out
but
there knows.
yeah, where's Derek or Brian Bailey when we need him? But Marcus might know.
And there's
He's
Punch.
been, although he said he doesn't rep Steven Seagal though, Marcus. Jeez. Anyway, no, it's great. I love it. Anything that Jay puts out there is really really nice. Like to see more Marvel work, of course, but he's done a lot of commissions, and there's a fair number of those pieces up on CAF.
Yeah, I picked up another cover of his too just recently. I think I was doing the thing. There's like a mini series or a series, the thing, Marvel's
Mhm.
the, but it has him fighting Hammerhead cover or something like that. I picked one of those up too, and that's actually pretty nice. Not as nice as this one, but
Well, congrats. You got
yeah,
a good one.
I love this one. Yeah, this is one that you were kind of whining to me about when I think I was getting it off of Doing Dealers or something like that, and you're
Is
like,
that
"Oh,
what it was?
go
Because
back to the guy who wants to get this Critchlow or something like that."
I love Carl
Like, geez,
Critchlow's
you were
work.
talking to me.
I'm trying to get the link so I can put it in the chat too, so everybody can zoom in on it.
Oh, look at the colors in that though, man. It's a multimedia paint, Carl Critchlow from the what was it, Joker? No, Batman Judge Dredd.
Yep. Ultimate Riddle, and it is an interior page too, right?
It is
Yeah,
an
page 16.
yeah. But God, I think that one ranks up there too with me. I don't think I have that one. I've never put that on the wall. I may have to do that.
That one seems like it should be on the wall.
No, right?
Diane was saying you can start moving your art into the living room. So
Yeah,
maybe a piece like this can kind of make its way into the everyday part of the house.
yeah. One of my nicer pieces there, I think. And Carl Critchlow hasn't done a lot, at least in my searches of him. Anyway, do
Yeah.
you own it or know of any Carl Critchlow pages out there?
I do not own any myself, but like if I go, let's see, checking CAF, looks like there's a lot of inked work over on CAF, but not a whole lot of paintings. Oh, there's a few. I mean, I think he's done some card art, some gaming art, and a few other things. But no, I love the colors on this. Like Tom said. Oh, there you go. Even Newell just said Critchlow was a Magic the Gathering card artist. Yeah,
The
that's
MPG,
what I
yeah.
thought. He had done a lot of card art for them, and um, but no, I love the color choices in here too with the reds and the blues like that. It's awesome
Hmm. That
and
looks like
deserves
something you'd
to
see
be on the wall.
in the Heavy Metal magazine, right? Remember Heavy Metal, the old
Oh, of
magazine?
course, yeah. It's cover worthy, that's for sure, and it's just an
Oh,
interior
yeah.
page.
It reminds me maybe a little bit of like maybe Richard Corbin a little bit
It
too.
has a Corbin feel to it too. Yeah, you're
Maybe,
right. I mean,
maybe.
a lot in the background. So when I look at the way he's handling the subtlety of just the textures on the buildings. I mean, that's straight Corbin for sure.
Mhm.
It's nice. And you get a little Escher feel in there with the staircases and stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a nice piece. Even with the guy in his underwear with the sunglasses, it's all good. Dread looks great though.
Yeah, Jet came out well.
Yeah.
That's one of my non-Marvel, non-DC characters.
I 2000 AD, anything 2000 AD always interests me. Even though I really haven't read enough to like warrant how much I enjoy seeing the art, but I mean anything that comes out of 2000 AD is always interesting to me. Even if I don't pick it up, I love the art. I mean, those artists have a edge to them that most American artists just never will have. And
Yeah,
in part that's the mystique around 2000 AD, uh but yeah, no, anything pops up, I always have to look at it just to see. And I own about
yeah.
5
Mhm.
pages from 2000 AD books.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mark Fong says you have a truly
Those-
outstanding collection.
Are they in your gallery right now?
I might have a few of them in there. I'll send you some
Yeah,
links
yeah.
after the show. Okay, I think do we only have yeah, oh, see that I wanted to end with the big one right here. So you mentioned that
Oh, Barnum,
Jim.
my
So
favorite.
did Jim reached out to you when the opportunity when it was your time? Is that kind of go through the process
Basically,
of
yeah,
what it
how
was
this
like?
went. Yeah, yeah. Jim Warren, rep
Of course.
John when he was doing commissions, that kind of thing. And this was my very first. I've gotten maybe about 4 or 5 commissions from Byrne, and I culminated that into a big 18 by 24 one that I just sold a little bit ago. It was huge, but it was like Marvel villains, against DC villains, and superheroes, that kind of thing. It was fantastic. I'm not sure if it's still in my calf or not, but I sold that quite a while ago. But when this one first came out, it was got a hold of Jim Warden, and I said, "Hey, want to get a commission from John Byrne? I just want to get a nice, great, super splash page done in landscape. I love seeing things in landscape myself. And you see, I think it says 2013. Yeah,
Hmm.
2013 when that was done. And I said, I just want to see it, with Superman, Superman getting hit by the Hulk and getting, blown away, like almost out of the picture, that kind of thing. And Jim Morton comes back with me and he says, "Well, okay, yeah. Well, do you want rubble in it, and you want to give John a little bit more creative license with with what to do. But I said, you do whatever you want with it. He's got the basic thing of what I want. And so, it was about a month or so later, and this piece comes back. Yeah, that's gotta hurt. It really shows the power in this. And the fun thing about that was he was breaking the borders. You see on the right corner there, Superman's head kind of breaking the borders out of that, giving it more of a depth kind of look to it. I think this was
That's fantastic. Yeah, and I love it. So it only took a month and a half for you to get
I think
the
it was like a
scanner.
month and a half, maybe 6 weeks. Yeah, maybe six
Wow.
weeks. And again, 2013. He was probably in
Had
between.
you so you had been on John's list before, so that's why Jim reached out and
Oh no, this was the very first one. I was actually the one who reached out to Jim.
oh, okay. So he was one of those. I know Jim. When John would take these, Jim would announce on like the Comic Art L board and a few others when he was taking the list. But is that how did you hear that you could get on the list? Was it from something like that?
Uh, I think it was from just a fellow person who did get commissions, and I was actually part of the John Byrne forum too.
Ah,
With the basically John's little forum website, that kind of thing too, when he was taking commissions. And I was actually part of that before they changed like some website addresses or something like that on it. And that's how I pretty much got a hold of it. I think from the beginning was being on the John Byrne forum and making any kind of comments and seeing when commissions were open. Whenever you want to commission, contact Jim Warden here at this at this link, that kind of thing.
yeah.
But it was neat. I mean, I've gotten other ones, and I don't think I got this one in here. John Byrne was known for like doing a lot of rubble in his commissions. All that bricks, rubble, crap like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think this one, because I wasn't aware of it at the time. He would put a little headshot, not more than like maybe like half an inch of Barney Rubble's head, and he would mix it in with the rubble itself. I'm not sure if you knew this or not,
I
but
there was another collector who brought that up. What did you
maybe
find a Barney Rubble head in your rubble?
not in this one, but when I commissioned him for a Wolverine Harlequin, I actually asked to see if he would put it in, and it's up to him whether he wanted to or not, and he did actually.
I'm gonna start looking. Where's Barney? He's got to be in here.
I don't think I asked for him on this because I wasn't aware of it at the time, and maybe there wasn't enough rubble or anything like that.
Yeah, there's
Like I
not.
had like two or three commissions of him, with a bunch of rubble in the background with a little Barney Rubble
Mm.
thing in there, headshot. But again, I thought this was just fantastic. I mean, it just shows off John Byrne's style, just bombastic when he wanted to be.
Right. No, no. And this was a fun period too because he did do a lot of commissions and when he was kind of in between books and whatnot and towards later in his career when he wasn't doing any published work either, a lot of people commissioned him. There's a lot of these up on CAF. A lot of them are oversized multi-character pieces, whether it was
Right?
X-Men or FF. And no, I mean that's cool. And Jim Warden got to handle it all, one way or another.
He
So
did, that
I
lucky bastard. He got some great commissions too from
yeah, no,
uh,
Jim has a fantastic collection, and he's one of the nicest guys in the hobby. That's for sure. He's one of
yeah,
my favorites.
so's Byrne, Marcus. I did
Just
get to see him once in my entire life. And I wasn't around in the convention circuit when he was doing the conventions like early or 90s or whatever. But he was at New York Comic Con pre-COVID where he was doing some signing. I think he had an IDW Artist Edition Avengers book, or something like that. He was signing, and he was signing other books too, like maybe three or four other books. And that was the only time I actually got to meet that guy, and it was pretty much the assembly line. You going in, he signs it, and you pretty much leave. But I thanked him for the entertainment and the art that he did, and he just kind of pushed the book back to me. He was like, just nodded, but okay, good, all right, you're done. but it was still a great interaction. I really liked it. I got some
Oh,
pictures.
of course. I've I've only seen him from afar, and that was in the '80s. So that's the last time I saw him at a show. Yeah, but before we take this image off here, Mike wanted to know: did you instruct Byrne to have Marvel win here?
No, I didn't actually say. I just told him that. Well, I guess you could say yeah, because told him I just wanted Hulk just land a huge haymaker on Superman, basically, and I want to have Superman kind of coming back, coming back in the way, in the pose and the layout. And he took that to heart, and he really did it the way I
Hmm.
really wanted it.
Well, congrats on that one. It came out fantastic. So yeah, I don't Byrne doesn't bother me at all. He's an opinionated guy, but you know what? The guy created so many memories for for us as comic book readers,
Hmm.
and literally got to write his own ticket with the stories he got to tell and the books he got to work on. And I mean, he literally got to pick the inkers, who would ink over him. I mean,
Yeah, when he wasn't inking himself, yeah. Oh,
right. I
yeah,
mean,
that else.
having Sinnott ink him on FF after his main run.
Hmm.
Giordano doing some inking on some of the DC books. I mean, he was selective and he stayed true to kind of comics history and the characters and things when he'd go out and do
He
those things.
did. Mhm. Yeah.
Right, there you go. Mike says Byrne earned his right to have strong opinions. Yeah, exactly. I mean, how prolific could one creator be? I mean, after Kirby, Byrne's right up there, and with the ability to go and pretty much write his own ticket, he was that respected and have that kind of stature. You won't see that too often in comics ever at that level.
Oh, are
So.
you aware that you're going to get new Burn X-Men next year?
Yeah,
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 it
exactly. I mean,
was else, right? I think
the
I.
Elsewhere books, Chris Ryall is working on that. It's awesome to see them making that into something that we can all appreciate. I mean, I think a lot of people have kind of gone through and read it and seen it and everything, but to have it be official is
Mhm.
something special. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
yeah, I'm
looking
kind of
forward to
looking
that.
forward to it. I picked up a original page from Jim on that too.
Dave
Oh,
Murray says, "OAX artist alert?" Question mark. Probably not.
is
Uh, but it's not for lack of asking, because Jim Warden's he's going to be here in year three too. So he's Matt Wagner has come with him the last couple of years, and Matt's coming back again. But yeah, just don't think that we haven't asked. We've it's just he doesn't do shows anymore. That's just kind of how it is. He won an award recently. I forget which one it was. Harvey maybe, and Chris Ryall accepted that. I think that was at Baltimore. So yeah, it's tough to get John out of the house, but hey, I'm never gonna say never. Be nice for it to happen one day.
hmm.
Oh man, well, hey Greg, we did it. We made it under 2 hours. Just like we always do around here. I don't know how that works out, but we look at enough art and we talk enough about your journey through the hobby that I'd like to think you're still you're not halfway through yet, Greg. You still got a lot more collecting to do.
I could say I want to, as much as you want me to. I would love to still collect, and I'm still collecting comics too. I mean, there's a transition coming very soon. I'm either going to be selling my comic art to get more Silver Age books, comic
Hmm.
books, or I'm going to be selling more comic books to get comic art. There's going to be a
Wow. That's
transition
the
very
so it's really that close. A lot of people they're done. I mean, not 100% done, but they're done with the comics and when they catch on to the art. But you've kind of worked your way back and the comics never really left you.
That's true. Yeah, and thanks for the little kudos for my collection too, because I don't think my collection rates with like any of the other people that you have interviewed. Because I
Oh,
don't have those Kirby's, I don't have those Ditkos, I don't have Gil Kane's, that kind
it's
of
not
thing.
all about that. It's our common, appreciation for, the medium and the creators and our respect for them and our respect for art. That's really what it's all about. I mean, uh, yeah. If that were the measurement, I'm not qualified to interview half the people I interview because I don't have that art there. I've handled a lot of it, but I don't own it myself. So, it's just fun. It's always good to get it, to hear a different story. I mean, and you've been doing this for a while, and I mean, it's like, and you're at a point, like you just said, you're retiring in 3 days to start a whole new chapter in collecting, and all that's, and collecting is a lifestyle at the end of the day. I mean,
It is.
kind of, it affects everyone in your family, and you always have to have supportive people who don't think you're nuts, or you don't get to do these things or collect these things or have them around the house. And so I think I think our hobby is just really special. I think it makes us all richer people for it. And so it doesn't matter if you have curvy covers or no curvies at all. Your journey is just as important as anybody else's.
Yes, I am retiring to play with my comics because there's going to be a big reorg with my comics and my comic art too. So I just need to get everything organized at this point. So yes, Chris. But anyway, yeah, thanks, man. I mean, thanks
Hey,
for the request.
nope, hey, my pleasure. And
It was a
yeah,
fast 2 hours for me. I don't know about anybody else. I don't know how many people were on here or anything, but I was like, I think I was so into this to where I feel like I could go
yeah,
an hour if you want to
we
do
had
it.
around 50 people most of the time tonight watching, so that's always good. But yeah, if you ever need anything, please let me know. And yeah, I'm glad everybody in the chat was hanging out with us for so long. And I appreciate you being in the chat for all this time too, Greg, and picking up a few pieces here and there from the guys on Dueling Dealers. It's definitely, you know, it's definitely good to have people who enjoy what we do. And you said nice things about Comic Art Live, which is happening this weekend, everybody. If you didn't know about it, Comic Art Live is happening this weekend, and Greg is going to get it. He actually, I think you've got everything already set up. When I looked in the admin, I think
I
you already.
got all the pieces in there, and like I said, I think they're not great classic pieces, but they're still in there, and I think there's some great prices on them. And there's a
Yeah,
good mix of like commission, convention sketches, and published work, and that kind of thing in there.
yeah, you have 48 pieces of art in there. So yeah, you've got both days maxed out, 24 pieces for each day.
Yeah, I'm on it, man. I had to get this done early. I
I'm glad.
enjoy Comic Art Live. I mean, I've done fairly well. I think I've sold maybe at the most maybe 10 pieces
Mhm.
in a Comic Art Live 2 day event. But I feel like I do pretty well, selling those 10 pieces. Some of them are high end, but some of them were not so
10
high.
pieces isn't bad, we've it's hard to get even to a 25% sell rate. I think we average around 10, but a lot of people bring a lot of high-end stuff to the show that really aren't going to sell. So we're pretty content with anything between 9 and 12 is a percentage is pretty good when you're bringing. I think, what was it, 7,500 pieces in there last year. If we can move 900 to 1,100 pieces, show me another, anybody else out there that can move that many pieces in a weekend.
Yep.
There's no site, there's no dealer, outside of maybe Felix when he's doing some of his crazy art drops that can move all that.
Oh,
Oh
get a
man, but
mystery
anyway,
too. Get a mystery sketch, man. Anybody want?
that's right. Get a mystery sketch. We've already set a record, everybody. We are, so we've got what,
Over 300 sold already.
yeah, we got 3.5 days remaining. We've already sold more mystery sketches for this show than we already have, but we have lofty goals. We'd like to do a few more. So if you haven't picked up a mystery sketch and you have a few extra dollars that you didn't know what to do with, just you can pick up just a sketch card. Those are $68 mailed. Only cards? No, actually, they're both doing really well this time, Marcus. We're not gonna give any figures until it's all over, but I think it was yesterday where we surpassed last May's number, which was cool. And we've got one person who I have to ask. I'm hoping they'll come on and we'll do a chat. That we've had somebody buy more than anybody's ever bought before too, which is kind of neat to see. So
Hmm.
I'm kind of curious what the motivation was there. Maybe we can get them to hold some back and unbox them, on camera. That would be fun if we can get them to do
That's
that.
always fun to watch too. The unboxings.
Exactly. All right, Greg. Well,
Everybody
let's end it here. But everybody in the in chat, thanks for hanging out. We have a low end sales show with Anthony tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. He knew that we got Cal this weekend, so I said nothing over $1,000, Anthony. So he's limited himself to to lower end sketches and interior pages and that sort of thing. But we'll be doing that tomorrow night at 9. And yeah, have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys again very soon.